All right, continuing with the multiplying polynomials worksheet. This time we are dividing a polynomial by a monomial. And the strategy that we're about to do only works if you're dividing by a monomial. If you're dividing by a binomial or a trinomial or anything with more than one term, then this doesn't work. But if you're dividing by a monomial, this will work. So that's what we're doing in this worksheet. So let's go ahead and do it. So basically, if you're dividing by a monomial, you just divide each term separately by that monomial. So I'm going to rewrite it that way. So we can write this as 20n cubed divided by 4n plus 8n squared divided by 4n plus 2n divided by 4n. So we can split it up into each term divided by our monomial. We're allowed to do that. So then we just go ahead and do the division. So we're going to do 20 divided by 4 is 5, and we have n cubed minus n to the first. So remember, when we divide powers, we subtract the exponents. So this is n to the 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1. So that's n squared plus we have 8 divided by 4, so that's 2. And then n to the 2 minus 1. So n to the 2 minus 1 is just 1. Or we don't even have to write the 1. And then we have 2 divided by 4 is a fraction. It doesn't reduce all the way, but reducing that fraction, if we divide both of these by 2, we get 1 over 2. So this is 1 over 2. And then n divided by n just cancels out. Or another way of thinking that is it would be n to the 1 minus 1, which is n to the 0. N to the 0 is just 1. So that just goes away. We don't need it. If there were no numbers here, then you would just write 1, right? Because n to the 0 is 1. But since it'd be 1 times a half, we don't have to write it. So this would be our final answer. This would be our final answer. So you're just dividing each piece and remembering that when you divide something with the exponent that has the same base, you're just subtracting your exponents. So let's do one more example of this. So I'm going to erase, and we're going to do number 26 on the multiplying polynomials worksheet. So that's 27a cubed plus 3a squared plus 9a divided by, sorry, I don't know why that's a line, divided by 9a squared. Sorry, that got a little cut off, but that's a 9. This is a 9. Okay. All right, so again, we can just split it up and divide each term by 9a squared. So let's do that. So we have 27a cubed, wow, a cubed over 9a squared plus 3a squared over 9a squared plus 9a over 9a squared. So, looking at the first one, we have 27 divided by 9. 27 divided by 9 is 3. And then we have a cubed divided by a squared. So we're just going to subtract the exponents. So we have 3 minus 2. So that's just a to the first power. And then in our second one, we're going to have 3 over 9. So that reduces, if we divide by 3, that reduces to 1/3. We divide both top and bottom by 3. And then we have a squared over a squared, which is a to the 2 minus 2, which is a to the 0. A to the 0 plus, you don't have to write that. I just did. And then over here, we're going to have 9 divided by 9 is 1. And then we have a over a squared. So that's a to the 1 minus 2. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. So we have a to the negative 1. So make sure you're paying attention to your negatives. So I wrote these all out because these are all things that we now have to do things to. So first of all, I don't have to write this 1. So I'm going to rewrite this as just 3a. Plus, a to the 0 is just 1. So I can just leave this as 1/3. That's fine. Plus, I don't want to leave this as a negative exponent. I want to have this as a positive exponent. So I'm going to write this as 1 over a. So this is going to be my final answer. So remember, we don't want to leave a negative exponent in our final answer. So I need to write it like this in my final answer. So this is our final answer for number 26, dividing polynomials by monomials. I hope that helps, and I will see you in the next video.